I think my boyfriend has been signing into my social media accounts for over a year. I've been having problems with my social media for over a year. This mostly concerns the fact that I'm always logged out. So, for example, I will go to one of my social media apps on my phone and I have to re-log in, which, okay, doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it's annoying because there's a lot of different factors of authorization that you need to do to get back in, and I was annoyed, okay? Honestly, I wanted this fixed. I just wanted to stay logged into my social media. The app that was being most annoying about this was my Snapchat. Okay, don't come at me for using Snapchat. People are going to judge me. A lot of my friends use Snapchat. So it's actually one of the main forms of communication I have with a lot of my long distance friends. And I was constantly being logged out of it. So I submitted multiple maintenance requests, and Monday, finally, I get a little message from them saying that they sent an email addressing the issue to the email that's linked to my Snapchat, which is my spam account. I think it's pretty common for people to link their social medias to an email account they don't use because you get so many notifications and no one wants to deal with all those emails. So every single one of my social media accounts are linked to an email that I literally never check. So I haven't checked this email that Snapchat sent the support email to in over a year. Now, before I go on to tell you what this Snapchat email showed me, I need to give you some context, and that is the fact that I have a boyfriend. We've been dating a little over a year, but we've actually been together for about 2 years. We were just like, will they, won't they, kind of together, kind of not, for a year before we started dating. So we have been together for about 2 years. I will say that he is a pretty great boyfriend, but his number one red flag is that he's jealous. All the time, he's always accusing me of flirting with other guys, things like that. I don't know. It is pretty tiring, but other than that, he's been a really great boyfriend, so I usually just let it go. I did let it go until I checked that Snapchat email on Monday, because when I was looking and reading about what Snapchat told me, I saw that Snapchat had actually been sending me multiple emails. And these were that there were a ton of login attempts of people trying to get into my Snapchat over the last 2 years. And you can see where those login attempts are coming from. I think y'all know where I'm going with this. Some of these emails from Snapchat were telling me that a new device had linked to my account from a specific location. And when I looked at the location, at first I was confused because I was like, I don't know anybody who lives there. I must be getting hacked. But then I remembered something. My boyfriend and a group of his friends had taken a trip to that location at the exact time period that a new device linked there. Okay, at a time period when he was on vacation, so he wasn't with me, and I was doing my own thing with my friends. Coincidental. At this point, I was freaked out, so I actually went to the Snapchat website, and I downloaded all my data. You guys didn't know you can do that? You can. And I looked to see where my Snapchat account had been being accessed over the last few months. And at multiple points, my account was being accessed in the city where my boyfriend lives. Yes, we don't live in the same city. We are a little bit long distance. So it wasn't like he would be accessing it in the same city as me. Whenever he accessed it, my Snapchat account was being accessed on a different device in a different city than where I live. But that's where he lives. Yeah, not a good look. And then I started putting it together. All of the times I was having problems with my Snapchat logging me out, it's because I was fighting for control of the account with my boyfriend. So I would be logged in, and then he would log in, which would log my device out, and then I would log in, and when he tried to get back on, I was bumped out again. All of these things. It was him. It was him the whole time. And then I started realizing it wasn't just Snapchat I've been having these issues with, and I'm like, oh my gosh. This is a bigger issue. This man has been logging into all of my social media accounts. He's been monitoring me. I immediately get in my car and drive the hour to where my boyfriend lives because I needed to confront him on this, and he acted completely shocked. He had no idea what I was talking about. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. But y'all know me. You know I didn't come empty-handed. No. I printed out all of my evidence, all of the Snapchat data, all of the times that I was logged out, and where that new device was logging in from, including the times that location show it was being logged in from cities that neither of us lived in when he was on work trips to those cities. Now, when I showed him this data, he knew he was caught. He was getting super flustered, but at this point, he kind of dug himself into a hole, so he just kept lying. And To the present, right now, to this day, the man still won't admit that he's been hacking into my social media accounts. I need to find a way to catch him. I need to find a way to get this man to expose himself. And I'm going to. There's always a way.
Am I wrong for asking my husband to block his female friend who warned him not to marry me? I, 26 female, want my husband, 27 male, to immediately block one of his friends, Kyla, 27 female. He thinks I'm overreacting and wants opinions from some cool-headed people on if I'm just acting crazy or this is something that would cross the line for you. Right off the bat, cross the line for me. There is no reason for, unless you are batshit psycho crazy, right? And I'm like, bro, do not marry this chick. Out of concern, okay? But if it's like some sort of like jealous thing, and I don't like the fact that it's coming from someone who's a girl. I can tell my girlfriends don't marry this dude, and then if she still does, I can still like act cordial. But I'm not gonna tell a dude that. It's weird. No, not to me. Personally, no. My husband has a group of 8 friends he is close with since college days. Also, wait, why do guys say this stuff though? Like, oh, like, this is my close friend. Why would that ever come up? Like if I had a close guy friend like that, okay? And I'm just being dead serious, like, hey, dude, I don't think you should marry her, but I respect your choices. I think it can come off nicely, right? It can come off as like true form of advice. It's up to him to how he takes it. If he wants to, it's like I'll respect whatever decision you make, but me personally knowing you and knowing who you're picking, I don't think this is a good match for you. Out of concern, I would say that. If he goes and tells her, what the fudge? What good does that do? That just shows you didn't respect our relationship as friends and you don't respect your relationship with your wife. What's the point of saying that? A lot of people say a lot of stuff during the marriage process and you have to compartmentalize a lot of stuff. So sorry, that's my 2 cents on that. My husband has a group of 8 friends he is close with since his college days. Kyla is one of his friends. When my husband and I started dating, he introduced me to all of them, and everyone was very friendly. I used to hang out with them frequently. I'm an introvert, and so is my husband. I would always ask him to spend time alone, as being in social settings just saps all my energy away. His friends, and especially Kyla, always made it a point to tell me how he hangs out with them less after he started dating me. Yeah, that's kind of the point. That's like very normal, because all of your time would be with your friends. Now you have a new priority. Duh, you're gonna hang out with me more. Kyla also had a weird energy around me. If I was with my husband, she would be the most friendliest with me. However, as soon as he walked away, she acted like I did not exist. My husband hates to be touched by others, but Kyla would always tease him by trying to hug him, mess with his hair, etc. I never felt like she was flirting with him, but just teasing him to make him annoyed. Overall, she just feels like a person who has severe social boundary issue. We got married 2 years ago, and things have been great between us. Last week, we had our 2nd marriage anniversary and invited a bunch of people. His friends stayed back after all the guests left, and we were all drinking and chatting. One of his friends, Jen, became a little bit tipsy and started complimenting me on how beautiful our house is, and how I care for my husband, and how he has changed for the better since marriage. Everyone was laughing at my husband at how much of a slob he was when he was single. Jen then pointed at Kyla and said, "You better pay up, because you had bet that their marriage would not even last for 2 years." Everyone became silent and started changing the topic. I did not want to spoil the mood and let it go, but it stuck in my head. Okay, take back a lot of things I said. I would never bet against someone's marriage. That is fucked up. This makes more sense as why. Okay, good. Good for him for not spilling the beans. I wonder if he even knew this. I would cut someone off if I knew that if someone told me I bet your marriage wouldn't last X amount of years, whatever. That's not a friend. After everyone left, I asked my husband what Jen was talking about. He also noticed Jen saying that and was ready for the full explanation. He told me the story of what happened when we got engaged. When he had proposed to me, he had not told his friends that he was going to do that. We went on a trip to Puerto Rico and he surprised me there. We put our engagement pictures on Instagram while we were on the trip, and it was a big surprise to everyone as we were only dating for 1 year. When he came back and met all of his friends, everyone congratulated him. However, Kyla started ranting about how he was a fool to propose so quickly, and she felt that I was not the right girl for him. Seems like she said some unkind things about me, implying I was a gold digger. My husband's family is wealthy, but so is mine. She had said that she bet that we would break up within 2 years if we got married. That is why Jen was taunting her about how happy my husband was with me. I was very furious at this point, as I felt this is something he should have told me. I asked him to tell me truthfully if he had ever dated Kyla or had any history with her, and he has always told me that he has never dated anyone from his friend group. He said that he has of course not dated or hooked up with Kyla. However, Kyla had asked him out a few times when they were in college, and he always politely declined. I asked why he said no to her, and he said he just doesn't have any romantic feelings for her. I can see that because my husband does have a type based on me or the other people he has dated in the past. and Kyla is the opposite of that. I'm just mad at her for saying bad things about me, especially after knowing that we are already engaged and betting against my marriage. I told my husband that he needs to minimize contact with Kyla and she is not invited to parties at our house anymore. He feels I am being too harsh for something she said almost 3 years ago. He also pointed out that she has been very supportive to both of us and has also helped a lot during our wedding arrangements. He feels she is just blunt and forthright when she speaks, but does not mean those things. He told me to take some time and calm down and we would revisit the topic in a week. He is worried this will completely change the dynamics with his friend group. Okay, what I said still stands, right? I had a completely different thought process when it came to how this came about. As a friend, I would have politely talked to my friend and like said, hey, if I had concerns and say, hey, I see these really alarming things in your spouse. I just want to make sure you're aware of the situation that you're going to be jumping into. I'm there if you need me, right? Or if I see my friend having doubts or in a really bad situation, then I would say something. But this was just bad, evil, petty, okay? Contrary to like what the West believes, 1 year is more than enough to know someone to get married. You do not need to do X, Y, and Z, all these things that you guys think you need to do to find out if you want to live with someone and create a happy life together. You don't need to do that. 1 year is more than enough of getting to know someone. So that's not a good reason. And to tell him like, I bet your marriage won't even last 2 years, I would have cut you off right there. I wouldn't even consider you anything. And I think he's just holding on to her there because she's part of the dynamic and he's right. It's going to change it. It's going to be awkward, whatever. But I don't care. I would not have that around me. If someone ever spoke about my husband like that, you're done. And I'm telling you, if I'm having doubts myself, right, that's different. But if I'm telling you, hey, I love this man. He's a great person. I want him to spend the rest of my life with him. Support me. And you say that shit. And it's very obvious from what he's saying too. She likes him and she's sad that he's getting married and he's going to be officially off the market. And then that whole gold digger comment. No, don't like this. Wait, there's a little part I forgot to say this. So she said, am I the asshole for wanting him to block her and stop inviting her to our house? Do you think I'm overreacting? I think betting against our marriage and bad-mouthing me behind my back seems like a huge betrayal. I'm also mad at my husband that he kept this fact from me and also never told me that Kyla asked him out during college days. Am I just being crazy and reactive? How would you react in this situation? I don't want to distance my husband from his friends, but I also do not want to see that Kyla's face again. No, I agree with you. 1000%. I like saying that to someone and you obviously like, why was she so against you two getting married? What were the reasons? I need to hear like what it was. If sometimes there's like very alarming things that you see in someone and you just have to say them. But like, I can't think of anything besides just that she's jealous that you're getting married. Ugh.
Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to move out because she started a career as an influencer and stopped respecting my privacy?
Ooh, okay.
This is me subtweeting you, Josh.
Oh, really?
This is what Josh does at home.
Oh,
because he wants to be an influencer.
Don't fucking say that. Don't say that. People are actually going to believe that.
I've been living with my girlfriend for 2 years. At first, everything was great. We got along well, spent time together, and had a good balance between our personal lives and being a couple. But a few months ago, she started building a career as an influencer. At the beginning, it was just a fun hobby for her. Some pictures, a couple videos, nothing over the top. I always supported her and was proud that she found something she enjoyed. However, things quickly spiraled out of control. Our apartment has turned into her personal studio. Every corner has to be perfectly curated for photos. Every room is a potential backdrop for her vlogs. When I come home tired from work, all I want to do is relax, but immediately there's a camera in my face because she's quote-unquote filming content.
Okay, yeah, that's weird.
Even our private conversations are often recorded without my prior consent.
All right, yeah, no, that's not okay.
And then I find them posted in her videos.
That's crazy.
It got especially awkward when she posted a part of a conversation where I shared something deeply personal, which I didn't expect to be made public. I tried talking to her about it, but she always brushes it off, saying I'm overreacting and that it's just, quote-unquote, part of her job.
No, it doesn't have to be.
And I should be more understanding. Over time, this has started to wear me down. I feel like I no longer have any space in our home where I can just be myself without worrying about being filmed or photographed. A few days ago, after yet another incident where I came home and was quote-unquote caught on camera, I decided to have a serious conversation with her. I told her that I understand her influencer career is now an important part of her life, but for me, it's becoming too much. I suggested that maybe she should consider moving out, not because I want to break up with her, but because I need a private space where I don't feel constantly watched. She flipped out. She said I was selfish, that I wasn't supporting her career, that I was trying to control her.
He's selfish?
She accused me of sabotaging her success instead of being proud of what she's achieved. Now we're barely speaking, and I feel like my boundaries and needs aren't being respected at all. On one hand, I get that her job excites her, but on the other hand, Am I really the asshole for just wanting some privacy and space in my own home? Am I the asshole?
I guess we're professionals in this. Yeah, you're not the
No,
asshole,
dude.
obviously. There's ways to make content online that isn't requires doxing your fucking partner
Yeah, you shouldn't. Yeah.
without their consent. Like, that's crazy.